Right. So now we have the payment method set up. Next, we're going to go to program subscription and create a new program subscription for this contact. So we'll go in, clicking on program subscription, the add button. So it'll basically give you some detailed information here at the top, what today's date is, the client's name. This is going to pull from your template. So you can go back to the template view to see how to set those up. But I'm going to pull in this results package, and you'll see that it pre-populated everything based on the template that I had created originally. So pretty powerful because you don't have to redo a lot of extra work. And again, the approach is to make your templates fit the 80% of your clients setup so that this is really simple. Okay. If you do need to change or update, this is going to be a quick link. Obviously, you'll lose any data that you have going on. But the only reason you need to do that here is because the templates that you have set up do not actually work for this particular client. Now, let's say I have the template set up for a 12 monthly payments. Let's say I want them to bill every 2 weeks. So I would change that to every 2 weeks, and we would change that, let's say 24 billing cycles in that case. And then I can change the rate. Say I'm going to do 175. If I want to do paid in full, I can do that as well. So I would set that to 0. And let's say we're doing $2,500 paid in full for this program. I can set the start date. You'll see the first payment. You'll see it shows paid in full. It's now going to tell me that the termination date of this agreement is going to be July 3rd. The initial setup fee, if I want to add, let's say I want $100 added in there, you can do a pro rata. So pro rata, basically, let's say, I always bill everything starting on the 5th of the month. So in that situation, I can change this to the 5th, but for the 5 days leading up to that, let's say I'm going to charge $25. Okay. So what that's effectively going to do now is show that today I'm going to bill $125, and then on the 5th, it's going to pick up the pay in full now. Again, it's maybe not the greatest example in that, but you get more flexibility with these bottom cells just to allow you to do that aspect of it. You have the option to email a receipt after each successful payment. So if you want them to get a receipt, I like this for quarterly payments as a confirmation. You can turn that on. And then you'll see it's now got the session types in there that were built into the package. Um, just to be aware, that package was set up monthly. I changed it to 2 weeks. I may need to change these now to 4 and 4 as an example, right? Because each billing period is going to be half and half. Put any notes in there. They want to, well, I just realized I changed this to paid in full. So let me change it back to what I had it before at biweekly, because then it makes sense as far as that goes. They want to pay bi-weekly. First full payment on 8/5. So then I can select the payment method, right? So I can use the credit card on file. I'm not going to use that because I don't want to charge myself. I can add a new card in there. I can pick ACH if I have it on file already. I can say, hey, they're going to pay cash. Drop that in there. Check, same thing. Other, so if you accept Venmo or Zelle or any of those types of things, you can select other there as well. And then hit save. And then what'll happen is it'll create this view for your program subscription. So it can give you the highlights. So billing rate 175 every 2 weeks. That's your termination date. How many payments have been processed? How many payments are remaining? Couple cool things here. If you want to take a look at the payment schedule, you can go in here. You can actually print this out, save it to the client media. So if you like to give a summary to the client and say, hey, here's basically everything that you're going to owe. Here's what the payment schedule looks like. Maybe even attach that to their signed agreement just so that they have that on file. You have that very quickly available for you. As payments start processing through, you can look at the billing details, which actually is going to take you into transaction history. You can also do manual billing overrides. So this one comes into play. We'll actually flip into there. So I'm going to click that button. It's going to take me to the transaction history, and it's going to show me that the first billing date is going to be on the 5th. Now, let's say um, they want to pay this one on their credit card. So I'm going to click up here, process the payment now. I can change that now to a new credit card, type that in, and that'll just bypass that single payment. Everything else will continue on the actual schedule. So you'll always be able to see what the future payments looks like for the client. And again, you can come here to see what was processed here. So again, this was 175 was due, paid for, other, and then your notes and things of that nature. So pretty cool, pretty straightforward. And that takes care of setting up your program subscriptions.